So I do not know what's going on in the ATV. I just don't have the bandwidth. So, wish them luck.
Hello everybody, welcome back to The Body Serve. I'm Jonathan.
I'm James.
This is episode 418. Where are we in the world?
That's Quebec City.
Oh.
We finally got a Canadian... Well, actually, not finally. Two episodes ago, we got
Toronto.
the 6.
Oh, Canada.
Our home on native land.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that when I got my... did my oath.
Oh, is this public knowledge now?
Well, it's not a secret. No, have I not talked about it?
I don't know. You're a dual citizen.
For as long as they let me.
If it's one thing you got out of this relationship, it's a podcast and a passport. Don't say I never gave you anything. There's also nothing quite like a potential drug suspension to get you really interested in tennis again.
Sometimes I just need the motivation. And unfortunately... it came at the expense of Vondrousova, but this is a really interesting one.
Mm-hmm. I said to you, you were just complaining about how you were finding it difficult, to get motivated, and then here comes a drug suspension, and you're just up and at him. And your response was, yeah, and it's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know why it's taboo to say sometimes one struggles with motivation. I know you don't like talking about it.
It's fine to talk about it, just not every episode.
Well, that's not the case.
It doesn't make it to air. I'm just saying, people don't want constant negativity.
No, they don't. They don't.
Let's get started in Barcelona, where it feels like 2 weeks ago that Carlos Alcaraz withdrew from this event, and so much news regarding his injury has happened since that I can't even wrap my head around it.
Yeah, pulled out of Barcelona, then pulled out of Madrid. He was in Madrid for the Laureus Sporting Awards today, and he was wearing a brace on his wrist. And people, of course, went a little mad. It's, the purpose of the brace is to immobilize it. If you're experiencing inflammation, maybe they need the inflammation to go away to fully assess what's going on.
Are we just gonna supersede Archer Feast's
No,
achievement
obviously
with Carlos?
We'll talk about it. But you mentioned the injury, and there was a little bit of news today. There's been a lot of rumors in Spanish press about what exactly is going on. You've got Feliciano Lopez weighing in about when he thinks Carlos will return. The man himself spoke today, and he said, "We have a few tests in the next few days, and then we will see how the injury is and what the next steps will be." But he also said, "We have a very long career ahead of us, many years to come. Pushing myself at this Roland Garros could really harm me in the future." This sounds like a withdrawal is possible.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at this moment.
No. Okay, so we can pop back to Fils for now. Fils versus Rublev. Arthur wins 6-2, 7-6. My word, these guys hit hard. This is big babe tennis. Emphasis on the babe for all the tennis media.
Why for the tennis media?
They have been slutting him out.
They sure have. Every angle, every slow-mo, every drop of sweat.
Like the official accounts. Mm-hmm. These aren't fan cams, right? These are official tennis channel, the Barcelona tournament account, basically filming thirst traps of this guy. He is going to be a superstar if he has a big breakthrough at a major.
Back to the tennis. Mm-hmm. You also have here that they are both also very loud. Bway!
They are very loud. Oh my god. That was one of my big takeaways watching this.
I still can't quite believe that Fils is only 21.
Fils plays a very physical game. He's quick. The forehand is his big weapon. He hit 31 winners in this match, 233 on forced errors. He runs around it a lot, and I believe he's shortened his backswing a bit since his big injury. Right, he hurt his back pretty badly last spring, and we didn't see very much of him for the rest of the year. But since he's returned to tour in February, it's just been a pretty amazing return. Like, he just jumped back in. Reached the final in Doha, quarterfinal in Indian Wells, semi in Miami, and then a win in Barcelona.
Hodar is another player who's been on a tear lately, making it to the semifinals in Barcelona. He had straight set wins over Munar, Ugo Carabelli, and Cam Nori. He had an 8-match win streak as a 19-year-old, including 13 sets in a row. He's the youngest in the ATP Top 100. He's now a top 50 tennis player, after being ranked outside the top 600 not more than a year ago.
Musetti has been dealing with his arm injury since Indian Wells. He just got his first 2 wins since Australia in Barcelona, but he has so many points to defend over the clay season, his ranking could really collapse. He's defending semifinals in both Madrid and Rome, actually in all 3, Roland Garros as well.
This crash out would come as a delight to many of his detractors, who felt that his ranking was undeserved.
Are you trying to implicate me in this?
I did not call your name.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying a lot of people laughed at his titleless top 5, top 6 ranking.
Right, they did.
Titleless for multiple seasons.
Oh, right. He's currently down to number 9, but he will have to defend some of those points if he wants to stay in the top 10.
The tradition of the winner jumping into the pool, La Piscina, after the win, continued, and this is where a lot of the thirst trapping emanated from.
Yes, a lot of, as you said, slow-mos. There was one thing that the Barcelona tournament posted of him lifting his shirt on court and, like, adjusting his underwear. Yo, what are you doing? That's too much, even for me.
Don't lie.
Right, but, like, that's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate for them.
As a professional account, right?
Correct.
I'm really interested to see how the rest of Fiz's season plays out, because there are so few genuine challengers to the top 2, and now with Alcaraz possibly out for a little while, who is there to challenge Sinner?
That's what you're really looking for here. Who's going to stop Yannick from
Well,
just running ramshot over this entire spring, summer, fall joggers season?
Spring, summer. Well, but also just from the perspective of a fan and someone who wants tennis to be successful, we need other players, right? The rest of the field looks scrubby compared to Yannick.
People are going to prop up men's tennis regardless.
Yeah, but
They'll find
I'd like
a way.
it to be enjoyable, at least.
Yeah, you're looking for your own enjoyment here. Other people don't care.
No,
Like,
they do.
well, other people like you, who are, week-to-week followers of tennis, the grand narrative of, wow, here comes Sinner challenging Federer records, winning 17 tournaments in a season. Oh, after
That will
being
not happen.
held off tour unjustly last year, he's now back where he belongs. Narratives can be spun.
Yeah, but even, fans of Yannick, or fans of anyone, they would probably like to see him win those big titles against exciting, high-quality players.
I've said this many times on the podcast. I did not care who Rafa played in the finals. Him beating Kevin Anderson, apologies to that man, at the US Open, loved it. Did not need to see him beat any of the other big players in finals. Did not care. Just give me the trophy.
Okay.
In Stuttgart, Elena Rybakina driving off into the crypto sunset with a Porsche.
Her second Porsche. Every article about the tournament will tell you about the Porsches. The first time she won one, she did not have a driver's license. Now she does. She beat Muchova 7-5, 6-1. Her second Stuttgart title, she's now number 1 in the race. By a hair. Rybakina has 5 titles on clay. Bucharest, Strasbourg, Rome, and 2 Stuttgart titles. She can win on different types of clay and different climates, different atmospheres. Don't count her out at the French Open.
She can win everywhere.
Yes.
She's an all-court player. She did survive 2 match points against Leila Fernandez in the quarterfinals. This could have been a completely different week for both players. Leila had a wonderful week. She started off by waxing Alex Ayala in the first round, and then she took out Sonmez, who's been playing really well in the run of 16s, 7-6 in the third, before pushing Rybakina to a third set tiebreak in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, a 3-hour quarterfinal. Leila's singles results have been a bit inconsistent this year, so I'm really excited to see this. I feel like she often gets up for the top players. Like you said, those 2 match points in the third set, one was at 5-4, one was in the tiebreak, couldn't convert, but a great match nonetheless. Muchova, wow, talk about a successful week for her. Gets a few people off her back. Coco Gauff, which I've come to rely on, Muchova being an easy out for Coco. But Carolina wins in her 7th try.
She took a set off of Coco, was it at the Australian Open this year, I believe?
In one of their recent matches.
But that had been the only set that she'd won off of Coco previously.
Yeah.
This week, she starts off by beating Sasnovich in the round of 32, followed by Mertens, a 6-love bagel in the third set, taking out Coco in 3 sets in the quarters, missed consistency Elena Svitolina in the semifinals, before losing 5-7, 1-6 to Rybakina.
Another player who Muchova had never beaten, Elena Svitolina, in her 4th try, finally gets a win over her. And the final, there wasn't really much you could do against Rybakina. She was just completely dominant from the baseline. I have to say, I think Carolina has been doing a really good job with her scheduling. She's suffered from serious injuries for most of her career, and it's hard to get kind of a consistent performance going. But, she skipped Dubai after winning Doha.
She said, fuck a Madrid, she ain't doing that.
Right. She didn't play the first week of the clay season, so she's pacing herself really well. Having a first 1,000 title, now a runner-up finish in Stuttgart, which is a really important 500 on the WTA. And she's only losing to quality players, to Gauff, Rybakina, Swiatek, and Sabalenka. There's nobody better you could be losing to.
The other big subplot, point of interest at this tournament, was Iga Swiatek playing her first tournament, A, of the clay season, and B, since her 1 week of training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, under the watchful eye of her new coach, Francisco Roig, and the man himself, Rafa Nadal. And what happens is that she gets to the quarterfinals and loses to Mira Andreeva.
Another stat down the tubes. Only 2 players have ever beaten Iga on clay from a set down. That was Muchova way back in 2019, and now Andreeva.
Swiatek had, I think, 30 all at 4 all on Mira's serve in the second set. She was potentially just 6 points away from winning that match, and it went sideways. Came back, was up 2-love in the third set, ended up losing that third set 6-3. Did not go well for her in that third set, which is unusual. It's unusual to have Iga lose these matches on clay. We lived through that last year, but then to be losing from being up in a third set, not ideal.
Mm-hmm. New coach, maybe trying some new things. It takes some time to build patterns. They're probably going to be working on the serve. We'll see, but there's not the fear factor anymore with Iga, right? We're not seeing 30-match win streaks. It's not a given that she'll win every clay tournament that she enters. They're not scared of her.
You jinxed her. You are the one.
I know, after Wimbledon.
After she won Wimbledon, you were fearing that she'd be winning 20 majors by the time she's 26. And it just has not been that dominant transference that you predicted.
It's really hard to do that.
Elena Rybakina is known for hitting a lot of aces. She's known for having a big serve. And now, multiple years after the height of the scamming, she has now come to scam you with her ace cryptocurrency.
What, the height of what scamming?
When cryptos were popular.
Oh, okay. Back when they used to be popular?
Back when it wasn't commonly held that they're scams.
Hey, people are still investing.
It's like getting in on Bitcoin 10 years after it started,
She recently launched her online shop, and on Instagram she posted, quote, "With my shop, I've launched $ACE, my official fan community coin on Solana. When you shop, you'll receive your physical collectible as well as ACE airdrop to your wallet for free as a thank you." She said the profits from her shop are all going to charities of her choice, which is great.
Oh, so I should feel bad?
Well,
Scamming for charity is better.
No, it's unclear about the crypto thing.
Okay.
You know, like if people buy merchandise. She said the profits are going to charity.
Okay.
In case you don't know, and I didn't really know, Solana is a blockchain platform that hosts a bunch of cryptocurrency and the transactions. If you scroll down to the end of the post, there's a disclaimer that says...
Can I read it?
Sure.
It's so good.
Let me pull up the actual screenshot I have so you can read the whole thing.
It's like a PS, right? At the end of this email. It reads like an email. Mm-hmm. And then it says, yours, Elena, and then the postscript. Important. ACE is not an investment. It has no guaranteed value, and the price may go up or down. There is no guaranteed utility, and it is completely separate from my tennis career, the WTA, and my sponsors. Protocol fees apply on each transfer and trade of ACE.
Now, this is important, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment. But let's go back. Picture it. You remember when Serena Williams was trying to sell us NFTs?
Wasn't Naomi doing it as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Steph Curry and a bunch of other famous people. She and a bunch of other celebrities were named in a class action lawsuit as defendants, but the suit was dismissed in 2025. The plaintiffs alleged that the NFTs were unregistered securities, and this is why the disclaimer exists. This post from Elena says this is not an investment, it has no guaranteed value. The plaintiffs in that suit were arguing this is a security, it's an investment, and that the company Bored Ape colluded with these celebrity endorsers to artificially inflate the prices. Now, if an NFT were a security, that would be illegal. The judge dismissed it and ruled, based on this, I think, 3-pronged legal test, that NFTs are not considered securities. So it was, okay, they're not securities. That doesn't mean that what happened was cool or ethical.
Ethical is the
right?
word we're looking for there.
But they couldn't proceed with the lawsuit on those grounds because based on the current legal test we have, it didn't qualify.
How does this relate to Rybakina's situation?
Well, she needs to make clear that, hey, this coin is not an investment. Don't get it twisted. If you take this and the money doesn't, if you don't earn what you think you're going to earn, it's not my fault and don't sue us.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Rybakina is a financial wizard here. Like, she's not doing crypto in her spare time. Like,
No.
somebody brought this opportunity to her to use her name and likeness, her celebrity, to create a profit for somebody.
Perhaps, yeah. This is clearly a partnership, and they give you the language that you have to use.
Disclaimer, not for you, but for her. Or somebody else involved in the hosting part of this.
Mm-hmm. Now, I thought this was interesting. Solana, this platform, also hosts Donald Trump's meme coin. And the House Judiciary Committee in the U.S. recently released a report. They did an investigation into these blockchain platforms. And the report states that Trump has added billions to his net worth as president using his own cryptocurrency policies and removing regulations. Fascinating.
Over in Munich, Ben Shelton won his 5th career title, beating Cobolli. I can never remember Cobolli's first name. Is it Francisco? Is it Fernando? Is it Felipe?
Do you know it?
Francisco.
Flavio.
See, there you go. I can never do it. This is like you trying to remember if somebody's lefty or righty.
Right.
I cannot remember this man's first name. It's the biggest title for an American man on clay in 24 years. And what that means is, think about
2002?
Think about this. Not since Andre Agassi won Rome in 2002 has an American man won an ATP 500 on clay in 24 years.
Mm-hmm. They stay winning Houston.
Yes. That's another caveat that we're going to get to shortly.
Okay.
Shelton is also the first American man in series history, meaning ATP 500 series, which were inaugurated in 2009. So in 17 years, he's the first American man to win 3 ATP 500 titles.
That's
which is what I'm talking about with Archer Feast. He's achieved that in 2 years on tour, with a large swath of that being out injured.
Right.
This is crazy. So when all these commentators are yapping along about American men and where they are and what they've achieved and whatnot, and trying to give them equal or better footing than the American woman, rebuke it. This has been decades of destitution in American men's tennis. It is crazy. It is absurd, the amount of play that they get for their unvaried, unsuccessful tennis. It really pisses me off. He's also just the 5th American man to win a tour-level title on clay outside of the United States this century.
By which you mean outside of Texas.
Exactly. He joins Andre Agassi, Andy Roddick, Sam Querrey, and Sebastian Corda. It is just mind-blowing. And it just shows, if you are looking for a statistic or an achievement that shows that one American man is potentially better than the others, this achievement might be it. If you're looking for potential and ceiling on one's career, Ben Shelton actively and then successfully trying to figure out clay puts him a peg above the others in my book. I don't care about your exploits on hard courts if that's all you're going to be doing. Apologies to Taylor Fritz.
But most of the tour is hard courts.
We have months upon months of clay court tennis.
Well.
And given Shelton's expressed desire to become competent on the surface, and now he says it's one of his favorite surfaces to play on, and he's getting results, there is no reason why his game can't translate to clay.
Mm-hmm.
The serve, the second serve lefty serve on clay, him being willing to slice. We saw it quite a bit in that final against Kaboli. He has the tools to do well on this surface.
Now, Flavio is a player who seems to get a lot of interest and excitement from regular tennis fans. People love him. Like, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's just cool and exciting. Now, there's a big caveat that you have here.
Well, before we get to that, he did a great thing in that he beat that guy in the semis quite handily. But then, after the match, he goes on to call him one of his best friends on tour. He said, quote, "It was one of my best matches ever against one of my best friends on tour. He's a really good guy, and we have a great relationship with everyone on his team. So it was a little bit tough to play against him. But today I think I played one of my best matches, and I'm really happy about my performance."
He should be really happy. He played lights out. Absolutely. I feel like a lot of people are competing to be that guy's best friend on tour. There are a lot of men who just fall all over themselves about him. And, I mean, this just goes to show, like, you are never safe. You know, investing in a guy on the ATP tour, they're all like this.
And it's not, as you said, it's not just Kaboli. Carlos is out there golfing with him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say top, all the players are out there kiki-kakaing with this dude. This result for Kaboli came with a really tragic subnote.
Yeah, he got the news, unfortunately, that during the tournament, a young boy that he's friends with, I guess, or family friends with.
He's friends with the dad,
oh, okay.
As far as I can tell.
The boy passed away. He was 13 years old. And I really want to talk about the details because he was a child, and you can look it up yourselves. But after that win over that guy, he was pretty inconsolable, in tears. And I think people were wondering, like, what was going on? If it was the emotion of that big win or something else. Unfortunately, it was this something else.
It feels kind of grimy to transition to this next sentence after that. But I will persist. That guy is now titleless over the last 12 months. Yet, he is still world number 3.
Yeah. Number 4 is Novak Djokovic, who we haven't seen, since Australia? He's got like 250 titles to his ranking. These guys need to do better overall. I mean, that guy is incredibly consistent, right? That's why he's ranked where he is. But, man, Someone else, please raise your hand.
It's a desert. In Rouen, Marta Kostyuk beat Veronika Podres 6-3, 6-4 to win that title, the second of her career. Podres came into the tournament ranked 209, won 2 qualifying matches, knocked out Sloane Stephens 6-2, 6-1 in the first round. Her first ever match wins on the main tour, and this is something we also saw recently with Daniel Merida in Bucharest.
Yeah, I always think it's so cool when people win their first matches on the big time tour and get a huge result, like a final finish. We talked about the Carlos injury. We'll be keeping an eye on that, of course. Who can stop Sinner in Carlos's absence? It remains to be seen. Probably no one. Novak is out of Madrid as well. He said his body needs more time.
Jack Draper is out of Madrid and Rome with a knee injury. And because of that, he's going to fall out of the ATP Top 70.
Oh, wow. Sorry, let me just correct. We did see Djokovic in Indian Wells.
I thought that was a bit strange, but I trusted you.
I forgot.
And look where that led us.
It's been his only appearance since Australia. Lost in the round of 16 there to Jack Draper, who, like you mentioned, is also dealing with injuries.
I saw today that Hubert Hurkacz, which thank you to the listener who corrected us on the pronunciation. I've been saying Urkacz for a long time.
Oh.
And I went and looked up his pronunciation on the ATP website. Hurkacz now is working with Medvedev's old coach.
Yeah.
Gilles
Serrara.
Yes. Okay, here's your time to shine. Take it away.
Okay. Marketa Vondrousova, former Wimbledon champion, was charged with refusing a doping test, which is an anti-doping rule violation that carries a potential suspension of 4 years. She's allowed to continue playing because this offense isn't one that requires an immediate provisional suspension.
She hasn't tested positive for something.
Right. She posted a long, extensive Instagram story about what happened. She claimed that someone rang her doorbell late at night without identifying themselves or, quote, following protocol, and she feared for her safety. And she added a lot of context about what she's been going through over the past few months. She said she has been at a, quote, breaking point after months of physical and mental stress. She had had shoulder surgery in 2024, returned after about 6 months rehab in 2025, and re-injured it again at this past US Open. She's played only 4 tournaments since then, winning 1 match in Adelaide, and has not played since the Australian Open. So we know, Marketa has always gone through long injury layoffs. Clearly, this is something that weighs on you, especially as you get older, and you just get beaten down. In addition to the injury, she said she's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and suffered an acute stress reaction. She said, quote, in that moment, fear clouded my judgment and I couldn't process the situation rationally. After what happened to Petra, we don't take strangers at our door lightly. Of course, Petra Kvitova was attacked by an intruder, sliced up her hand really badly, had to go through a surgery, and of course all the trauma that comes with something like that. This incident is now under investigation by the ITIA, and Marketa says she's working to clear her name. So basically the story is, you submit your whereabouts for every day through the whole year, but under the WADA rules and the ITIA rules, you can be tested anywhere at any time, in competition or out of competition. She said that this person arrived at her home outside of the window, didn't identify themselves, she was scared, refused to give a doping test. This is really serious because anti-doping kind of relies on this. The surprise factor is actually important because it catches people who are doping. And more on that later. She's not working with Howard Jacobs. I was shocked. He is like the doping lawyer to the stars. Everybody hires him. She's working with a lawyer named Jan Exner, who says he's, quote, certain that once the full context is understood, her name will be cleared. He also alluded to toxic harassment, death threats, persistent sleep problems that all contributed to what happened in this incident. And he alleges, like Marketa, that safety and identification protocols were not followed by the doping control officer. She mentioned that she had had an acute stress reaction. I just wanted to be totally sure I understood what that was. And what it is, it's a short-term transient condition that happens at the time of a traumatic event or within a few minutes or a few hours. Symptoms can include anxiety, intrusive thoughts, avoidance, withdrawal, and hyperarousal, which we refer to as the fight, flight, or freeze response.
What's working against Marketa here is that she potentially has receipts of her own doing. When she posted a story in December 2025, appearing to be referring to the same incident, she claimed that the tester arrived outside her testing window and was, quote, a serious intrusion into my privacy. If this is indeed the same incident, she has said on her Instagram that this person was a doping officer, which goes against what she's currently saying now, that the person didn't identify themselves.
She even posted a picture of this person. I don't know why you would do that. If this could come to bite you, regardless of what happened and the intentionality, they left without a completed test, which is now a violation.
The offense falls under Article 2.3 of the WADA Code and the Tennis Anti-Doping Program, quote, evading sample collection or refusing or failing to submit to sample collection without compelling justification after notification by a duly authorized person. Refusing or failing to submit a sample collection may be based on either intentional or negligent conduct of an athlete.
Under this category, Article 2.3, the period of ineligibility is 4 years unless the player can establish one of two things. Either that the commission of the violation was not intentional, which would be called no fault or negligence, or that exceptional circumstances justify a reduction in the suspension. And this would reduce it to a minimum of 2 years. So the suspension would be somewhere between 2 to 4 years if there were exceptional circumstances.
So the bottom line here is that she's in a lot of trouble.
Yes. It is possible that weighing the circumstances, they could find that the anti-doping rule violation wasn't intentional. I think that would be really hard to prove at this stage because she did claim that she refused a test. And so now it's her word against this doping control officer. She's saying that the person did not follow protocols, didn't identify themselves. She felt a threat to her personal safety.
What is a comparable situation that's happened recently in sport?
Yeah, I looked at a few of the recent cases and I didn't find one exactly like this. There was a recent case of an Ethiopian middle distance runner named Diribe Welteyi, and I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. This went all the way to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. What happened was, officer came to her home. Her husband said she was sleeping. There's contradictory witness testimony about what actually happened. Initially, she argued to her national anti-doping organization in Ethiopia that there was a language barrier. This argument was successful, but World Athletics appealed it to CAS. CAS has now given her a suspension of 2 years for refusing to provide a sample. I thought this one was interesting because the evidence felt very weak here, right? Her husband said she was sleeping. There's some other stuff that they didn't list on the report because the witness testimony was contradicting itself. She gets a reduction from 4 years to 2 years. Why? Being asleep isn't really an argument you can use. The language barrier, maybe. But the athlete failed to provide any compelling justification for the refusal. This was in the report. Yet, CAS still found that her failure was negligent but not intentional. So there might be hope, right? There might be hope in saying that Marketa's refusal to give a sample was negligent but not intentional. To me, that's going to be a really hard road. There was another case where a high jumper named Pooja Atmaram ran away from a tester at an event in Mumbai. Literally saw the tester, they acknowledged seeing each other, and then she ran away. She was initially given a 4-year suspension, but it was reduced by 1 year because she admitted the violation and accepted the sanction. This is not something that will be afforded to Vondrousova because she has not admitted the violation. She hasn't accepted the sanction. To me, that's a really severe instance where an athlete actually evaded and ran away from a tester. She still got a reduction, but you have to admit it and you have to accept it. Marketa's in this position where she's saying, I'm not accepting this sanction because it's totally unfair. So I'll be really interested to see the evidence that gets presented. This is kind of it's kind of novel for tennis at this point.
Marketa citing the attack on Petra can be viewed in a couple ways. One, totally legitimate. Why wouldn't Marketa, a fellow Czech player who saw this all happen, as a young player, as a very young player, live through this, why wouldn't that be front of mind? That makes perfect sense to me. I've seen a lot of people in replies to stories about this be very mean-spirited and dismissive about that aspect of it. And if you are to take that stance, you have to really believe Marketa to be a truly conniving, cynical person, that she would use this to defend her doping, essentially.
Right. There is obviously a very cynical way to view this. There's a way to view it that completely absolves her of any responsibility, and the truth might be somewhere in between those. The way that I view doping is that any player, even your fave, even the sweetest, most honorable person, can sometimes be caught up in this. And sometimes they do things to evade detection. And so, if any player, not just Marketa, if any player, even the ones that I love, right, that I stan, were popped for this, I wouldn't be totally surprised. That's not to say that she's guilty. I'm just saying I think we need to be realistic in that a lot of tennis players do things that are against the rules to gain a competitive advantage.
Or out of stupidity.
Right.
I do think that if the WTA is going to, and I know the WTA isn't responsible for dealing with this, but they could provide some assistance and back her up to say, we consider player safety to be of utmost importance, and so we believe Marketa in this situation, that she was fearful for her safety and believed rightly or wrongly that this may have been an intruder, given what has happened before.
Generally, I feel like the tours should stay out of anti-doping because they have ceded the authority to this independent organization, the ITIA. The WTA can still offer support, right? Clearly, Marketa is going through something. I don't doubt the mental health aspect of it, and I think it's a dangerous road to go down to doubt that she was telling the truth about that. I think that's true. But I don't know. We'll see. Like, refusing a test is a pretty serious problem. And the Instagram post from December isn't great.
It sure is not.
We had a listener write in recently and asked several questions, but one of them was about whether we would ever be interested in doing a book club. And this was specifically aimed at like social justice books. I would say probably not. However, sorry, not to be a party pooper, but I did want to talk about books for a moment because I feel like we always talk about movies and TV. But I was an English major and I am a book lover, and my I guess concentration has ebbed and flowed over the years. I've been on a big reading kick ever since I lost my job last year. So I've been committing to reading a lot of books and tackling some of the big novels that I haven't read before. So like I read East of Eden, which I loved, but it's not particularly difficult. So this year I'm gonna crack into some of the harder Russian novels that I haven't tried yet. I haven't been reading a lot of nonfiction, I guess, to answer that question, but I would recommend Abolition by Angela Davis and read the introduction to The Epistemology of the Closet by Eve Sedgwick. Incredible. She also has an essay in there about Sense and Sensibility called Jane Austen and the Masturbating Girl about Marianne. A really important work. I read pretty much exclusively fiction these days. I kind of try to balance it between fun books and ones that are a little bit harder. So I read the newest Hunger Games book, which was Reaping on the Sunrise or something. I forgot what it was called. It was about Haymitch. It's a prequel. It was really fun. I've enjoyed all the Hunger Games books. Now I'm reading Clara and the Sun. Kazuo Ishiguro is probably, one of my favorite living authors. He also wrote Remains of the Day. Claire Keegan is an Irish writer who started with short stories. She writes novellas now. Absolutely love her. Like one of my favorite writers, bar none. Foster and Small Things Like These are two of her books that I've read recently. And yeah, I'm always looking for recommendations. Right now I'm kind of into the classics, but I'm balancing it with ones that are maybe a little bit easier.
Is this your way of exposing me as a dunce?
Well, I mean, you haven't said anything.
Because I don't really read books, which sounds really bad and embarrassing. But I read books for the purposes of this show.
Yeah.
Which we need to get on that.
Yes.
I spend my free time watching TV shows from other countries. That's what I like to do.
Right. I did want to add, I forgot about this. I recently got a copy of The Open Era, which is a new novel that's coming out in a few months, which is, every sport is trying to find its answer to heated rivalry. This is about a gay romance. It was really fun. I read it on vacation.
Surprise, you're taking a quiz. That's how we're going to end this episode. The last time I did a quiz for you, folks said it was too hard, and they were very sympathetic toward you. Mm-hmm. They thought you were hard done. They thought that I was mean and dark-sided. So this one
all true
is just a matter of fact. You either know it or you don't. And
well,
it's stuff.
The last one was too.
No, but this is something that you should at least be able to get 70% on.
Okay.
I need you to name the top 10 in the live race standings for both the men and the women.
What?
Start with the men.
Oh.
You just think through it. It's
The
very
race,
simple.
Just don't put the phone away because I don't want to look. Okay. Alcaraz, Sinner, Zverev.
Those are the top 3.
Yeah.
Sinner, number 1, 260 points ahead of Alcaraz, and then that guy, some 1,300 points behind.
Mm-hmm. Why are you're like messing with my flow?
Okay, well, I need to be able to have the listeners follow along as well as me keep track of your score.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, at least I got 3.
It also gives you more time to think.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Shelton.
Number 5.
Fils.
Number 6.
De Minaur.
Number 8. So currently you're missing the number 4, the number 7, the number 9, and number 10.
Mm-hmm. Djokovic.
Djokovic is number 7. So you're 7 for 7 right now. You need 3 more. You need the number 4, the number 9, and the number 10.
Mm-hmm. Medvedev.
Number 4.
Yeah, I figured he was 4. Who else is out there? I know it's not Musetti, despite being in the top 10.
Musetti's 24.
Mm-hmm. Rublev?
Rublev is currently number 14.
Oh, well.
So that's
no
7 of 9.
Not that great.
No, that's it. That's 8 of 10. You got 10 guesses. You got 8
Oh,
right.
I only get 10 guesses?
Yeah.
I thought I get to keep guessing.
No.
Oh, okay.
So you missed Felix at number 9 and Flavio Caboli, not Francisco Caboli or Felipe Caboli, at number 10.
Damn, I missed poor Felix. That's not fair.
So you got the first 8 right. 80%. I'm sure you'll take that.
I'll take that. Yeah. Okay, women. We've got... Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Rybakina, Sabalenka, Goff, Pagula, Swiatek.
No, I'll stop you there.
Oh my lord.
So you got Rybakina number 1, Sabalenka number 2. Who else did you say? Coco?
Goff, Pagula.
Coco at number 8, Pagula at number 3. Mm-hmm. Iga is number 11.
Oh my god. What world? Not in my world. Not in the world I'm living in.
She's only 59 points away from the number 9 player. She's actually 2 points from the top 10.
Oh. Okay.
2 points behind the 10th ranked player in the race.
Mm-hmm. I also said Andreeva.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
So yes, that's correct. Andreeva is number 6.
So that was 6 guesses so far. I got 5 of them.
Yes, so you're missing the number 4, the number 5, the number 7, the number 9, and the number 10.
So, I gotta say Muchova.
Number 5.
Who else do we have? We have Anisimova.
That's number 10.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who just edged out Iga?
Correct. So now you're missing the number 9, the number 7, the number 4.
The number 4?
Yep.
What the hell? But not... I already said the top 5 in the rankings. but not the top men. Why am I blanking on the women? This is so embarrassing. Well, who's been winning?
There's one very obvious one. A very consistent player this year.
I don't really remember like what happened this year.
She's ranked number 9 in the world.
Uh-huh.
And she's 4 in the race. Actually, she's number 7 in the world right now.
I'm trying to think of the countries. I think I'll do better with countries.
So you're fishing for help?
No, I'm just thinking.
3 players.
This is so bad. Sakari?
No, Sakari? Wow, that's quite the leap there. Sakari is 28.
Oh, well, top third, close enough.
Look at you scrolling through the agenda to see.
Honestly, like, this is so embarrassing. I cannot think of anybody. I have no fucking idea. What country?
If I tell you the country, you're going to get it easily. So therefore, it's not an American.
Yeah, so it's not Italy, right? I don't think Jasmine has been really showing out this year.
Somebody I predicted to have a really good season.
Jovic?
And they're having a really good season.
It's not Jovic?
It's not Jovic. Are you giving up?
Yeah.
Elena Svitolina.
Oh.
Number 4. Number 7. This is going to really hurt. Vicky Mboko.
Oh, damn.
And number 9, the dark-sided one. Belinda Bancic.
Oh. If you said Switzerland, I probably would have said Patty Schneider.
So you got 70% overall. 6
That's
on the
not good.
6 on the women, 8 on the men.
I think it doesn't matter now if it's an easy quiz or a hard quiz, because I should have gotten the women at least, or more of them.
You should have gotten 2 more for sure. You should definitely have gotten Mboko and Svitolina. But Jovic is 12. That wasn't a bad guess.
Okay, Sakari was a bad guess.
That was a very bad guess.
Like you say you like forget what happens as soon as we record.
Yeah.
When we have to do an episode like a major preview, we have to do our homework and take notes. Only so many things fit in my brain.
Yeah. Svitolina and Mboko was bad. I'm sorry to say.
You can't remember Flavio Coboli's first name. I can't remember Elena Svitolina.
Okay.
Like, honestly, even if you had said Ukraine, I probably would have been like,
Kostyuk?
Marta Kostyuk. Yeah.
Well, on that note, that brings us to the end of our Quebec City area code episode, number 418. The tours have landed in Madrid. Venus Williams draws a fellow wild card. Somebody said they're clearly trying to fix it so that she finally gets her first win on the year. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if Yannick Sinner gets his first title in Madrid. We'll see if Arina Sabalenka and the Altitude are a perfect match these next 2 weeks.
Oh, she and Alcaraz just won the World Sports Persons of the Year award at Laureus.
I saw her there. I didn't know that she actually won. I only saw Carlos.
They love tennis. If you go through the historical winners.
Yeah. Well, apparently Djokovic was a co-chair this year or something.
Yeah.
This, of course, is historically one of your favorite spots and stops on the tour. You can just switch those letters around, spot and stop. My name is Jonathan. You can find me on Blue Sky at Tennis John.
I'm James at ElliotJMR.
2 L's, 2 T's. Everything BodyServe related can be found at linktree.com/thebodyserve. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.
Thank you very much.